Alrighty, so I started putting stuff away. Made a bit of a start anyway, but I'm getting distracted here. This is the door handle for an old school bus. That's what that is. Darver would grab onto that, you know, and you go like that, and it'd push a rod that would open the door. That's what that is. That's an Oldsmobile hood ornament. There's a Buick hood ornament, too. You can see there. They put these on a spring. Oh, okay, they put these on a spring. And the reason they did that, I'll show you here. See how it flips? Whoop. The reason they did that is because in the old days, hood ornaments weren't on a spring. And if you got thrown for the windshield, you'd slide down the hood, and the hood ornament would gut you like a fish. And that was the reason that they put them on a spring. There's another medallion from a Buick. Yeah. Door handles for my 47 Dodge. There's a more modern door handle. That's from like a 1980s Oldsmobile Delta 88 or Buick LeSabre or Chev Caprice or Pontiac Parisienne. Let's see what we got in here. More door handles. Whoops. Oh, look at that, eh? There's a fancy one. Yeah. Isn't that nice, eh? So that's the reason they did that anyway. That's from a 62 Pontiac. That went on the nose of a 62 Pontiac. There's another old door handle. I don't know what that's from. But yeah. Oh, there's another one. That one's a little newer. Still made out of metal though. That's from a 62 Pontiac. I recognize that. That's the door handle from a 62 Pontiac. You'd pull up on it to open the door. Yeah. Anyway, another old door handle. And of course, we got bumperettes. Bumperettes. Yeah. Oh, flash all. Signal light switch, so you didn't have to stick your hand out the window anymore. Yeah, I used that. I did. Anyway, this is all stuff from cars that I had. I had a lot of really neat old cars in the old days, you know. I did. I miss my old cars. I do. Oh well. Life goes on, eh? All right. What else can we do? Oh, here's the gauges out of a 62 Pontiac. The speedometer and everything. In fact, I'll show you something here. There's a story here behind this. When I was a little boy, my dad had a 62 Pontiac. He got a generator, discharge and charge, gasoline, empty and full. And I'll take this off here so you can see better. This was the cover. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, these were the gauges from a 1962 Pontiac. And I owned a 62 Pontiac for a while myself after I grew up. But right there, that's the high beam indicator. So at night, you'd hit the switch on the floor, because it was on the floor in those days, not up on the steering post like it is now. Not up on the signal light switch like it is now. You hit a switch that with your left foot on the floor to dim your lights and then to brighten them again. And that is Chief Pontiac. That would glow red when your high beams were on. The head of Chief Pontiac would glow red. And I'd be riding down the road with my mom and dad. I'd be sitting in the middle on the bench seat between them. And of course I could see the gauges and everything, you know, everything was lit up at night. And whenever we had whenever a car was approaching, my dad, of course, he'd push the pedal on the floor and you'd hear that click, click. And of course, Chief Pontiac would disappear. And then my dad would tell me, he had asked me if I wanted to see Chief Pontiac again. And of course I did. So I would say, oh, yes, I do, you know, and he'd say, okay, when I tell you, he said, you just say, Chief Pontiac, come back. And you can make Chief Pontiac come back, he'd say. That's all you got to do. He said, Chief Pontiac will come back because he'll listen to you. You tell him to come back and he will. So he'd say, okay, right now. He said, go ahead and say it. And I'd say, Chief Pontiac, come back. And my dad would hit the thing and Chief Pontiac would appear again. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was pretty neat that I was able to make Chief Pontiac come back. I was just a little kid. Anyway, that's another story. There's the horns from my 47 Dodge. They look like a couple of trumpets. Anyway, I got to get all this back in there. I got to stop dilly-dallying and reminiscing and stuff. Yes, I do. Too much stuff. I got too much stuff. Got an overabundance. That's what it is. All right. We'll see y'all later. Bye for now.